Kendra. It's nice to see you again today.
Hi.
So, how have things been going in the last week since I saw you?
Okay, I just always fighting with my parents.
Okay. What did anything specific happen in the last week?
They're just on me because, I love to play sports and they just, they're more concerned with my schoolwork and I just really don't care about it. I just want to hang out with my friends and play my sports and stuff, so.
So you really prefer to be with your friends over maybe than doing school or being at home?
Yeah, and I don't know why they're making such a big deal about it. It's not, I'm passing. Who cares?
Okay, fair. That's very fair. Hopefully we can talk about that a little bit more. So I remember last time we talked a lot about that you were interested in basketball and soccer, and you liked being in the 10th grade, but you have a lot of teachers that really hound down on you and give you a lot of rules during the day, which you're not very fond of.
Yeah, I don't need all that.
Right, okay. But you do your schoolwork pretty well because you have an extra teacher that's there to help you, right?
Right, and I get most of it done, but I don't know. My parents are just more concerned with my grades, and I told them it shouldn't really matter if I'm passing. They should just leave me alone and let me be.
Okay, and then at home you have your two parents, right, that you said you don't necessarily get along with very well, and then you have 3 siblings, right?
Yeah.
And you get along okay with them, but not necessarily the best.
It's okay. We have pretty good days, but then I don't know, I like to do my own thing and hang out with my friends, and, they want to spend this family time together and stuff, and I'm just not really into that.
Okay, so you don't necessarily like spending time at home, is that what I'm hearing you say?
Yeah, not as much.
Okay, all right. Well, last time when we talked a little bit about they told you that maybe you had reactive attachment disorder, and I wanted to be able to talk through that today with you so that you knew what that meant.
Okay.
Because sometimes that can be really confusing for kids to have a label or feel like they're being grouped into a certain type. Is it still on?
It's probably still running.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I remember what you were talking about last time a little bit.
Okay, so sometimes when we talk about reactive attachment disorder, it's important to know what it is so that you know when things come up in your everyday life and you feel like you're getting frustrated, maybe it's part of that, and maybe it's because you just think a little bit differently than your parents do. They're a little bit older and have had different experiences, and you've had a lot go on in your past as well.
Yeah.
So,
and I don't think they get all that.
Yeah, okay. So maybe it's something that we need to work on with them as well, and maybe better explain to them what was going on when you were little.
Right.
Right. And I know that the adoption was a big thing for you as well that affected you now.
Yeah.
So what are some things at home that don't go so well?
I just don't really think they understand what's important to me, or I don't know. I just don't think they ever really listen or hear me. And they're wanting to do all this family activities and bonding stuff, and I'm just not really interested in that. All I want is for them just to, I guess, hear me. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. When you were growing up, did you have a lot of people that wanted to do those things with you and play games and hang out with you?
No, and I don't really need those things.
Okay. And
I just want to hang out with my friends.
Okay, that's it. As that's good to have friends and feel the support from them as well. One of the things with reactive attachment disorder is that sometimes when we're growing up and we're little and we don't get that support, we find it ourselves. And so it's important to know now that you do have those supports. If something were to come up, they want to be there to help you and keep you safe. Even though you don't want it, sometimes it's good to know that it is there if you needed a fallback.
I think sometimes I just feel a little bit more connected to my friends and my coaches because, that's who I hang out with and that's who I kind of feel more comfortable talking to.
Okay, yeah, it's good to have those supports and to be able to lean on them as well. Okay. So is there any other times that things aren't going so well throughout the day, maybe at school?
School's okay. I hang out with my friends between classes and stuff. Sometimes the teachers get on my nerves, but it's okay. Because I know I have to do school to be able to do my sports. So,
Right, that's very important to get good grades.
Yeah,
to
so
do your sports.
I'm passing, so I'm not going to get kicked out of my sports or anything, but so I'm doing okay.
Right, okay, and
sometimes I get upset real easily over stupid things and just kind of blow up, and then I don't even know why I do it sometimes. Just real easy to get upset over things, stupid things. If the teacher calls me out or says I did something wrong, or I don't know. I just get upset easy sometimes.
So you feel like sometimes you get upset really easy when maybe, it's something that you should be able to calm down or maybe isn't that big of a deal?
Yeah, it's like later I kind of think about it. I'm like, well, but sometimes I guess I get mad before I think about it.
Okay. Well, again, with the reactive attachment disorder, that's one thing is, being able to think about, when we're truly angry, if it's something that we can help or if it's something that we can't help. So that's when we fall back on those supports that we have. Getting angry very easily is something that a lot of kids with reactive attachment disorder go through. Like I said, when they're growing up, they don't really have a lot of support to help them. And they have to be very independent and, fend for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And so now, when you do have those extra supports, you're a very independent person, which can be very good.
Yeah.
And we want to help you, make that independence be very good for you. But, you have to know that you can't get angry when people are trying to help you because you want those people to stick around.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Plus, sometimes it's pretty embarrassing, when I just get all upset over nothing, if people are staring
Right.
at me and stuff.
Right. We don't want you to be upset or,
Right.
Feel embarrassed by that. We want to be able to help you go through, maybe find some coping mechanisms to be able to calm yourself down before it becomes something bigger that you feel like you're embarrassed over.
Okay.
Do you feel like anything works for you in regards to calming yourself down?
I don't know.
Is there anything, like I know that you like to play soccer and play basketball. So is being active something that maybe would calm you down or help you get some stress out?
Yeah, that helps. Or sometimes I like to read. Sometimes getting away and reading is easy because you kind of really get into the book and you take your mind off of stressful things. So, yeah, sometimes that would help, I guess.
Those are really great things. Either getting your energy out or reading, and reading can be really productive with school, trying to get some of that schoolwork done too.
Yeah, I'd rather read other stuff.
So any reading is better than that, so
Right.
that's good. So I feel like that is, we've worked on a lot today. We got to know, that your ability to kind of get along or talk to your parents may come from when you were little and had to be independent and fend for yourself, right? And that it's important to know that, that those supports will still be there and that they do love you and want to care for you and provide for you, and that they're not going anywhere, right?
Yeah.
And we also looked at the anger piece. You said sometimes you get overly angry or you feel like you get very angry, and you want to be able to calm yourself down, you just don't know how. And so working on some of those coping mechanisms. And two of those that we thought about today were maybe going outside and getting some of that energy out through your sports, your soccer and your basketball, or maybe taking time to read and walk away from the situation.
Yeah, that's pretty good ideas.
Okay. Well, maybe that's something that you can work on throughout the next week. So if you feel yourself getting angry or you feel yourself, getting worked up when you're talking to your parents, that's something that you could walk away and start doing throughout the week.
Okay, I'll try that.
Okay. Well, I can't wait to see you next week, and I hope you have some more good, positive things that have happened throughout the week to be able to talk about.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Kendra. Kendra.
No, wait,
I said Kendra. I hope that was okay.